That is the league in 2024, especially with Mahomes active in it. If you don't have a great quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
And do the Cleveland Browns have a great quarterback?
I think they could. Yeah. I mean, this is a quarterback that has been great in his life in the NFL.
Yes.
Not recently.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
2020.
Not without the hurdles that he created of his actions, which have people looking at him in a much different way than we did while he was at Clemson and when he came into the league. This was like the choir boy when he came into the league. Now, obviously, not as much. And so there's the physical hurdles. I have to assume that there are mental hurdles in getting over like how you're viewed because of your alleged actions. Nobody should feel badly for him at all in any way, shape, or form. But do I think that the football player could exceed expectations this year? I do.
But only because of what you saw from him in Houston?
Because of the team, because of the team around him, because of what I saw from him in Houston, and because he really has no other choice anymore.
But he hasn't had another choice.
He kind of has for the last couple of years. He knew he was he was in charge of the team. I don't think he's in charge of the team anymore.
Well,
how is he not?
Because I think
they can't do anything with that
I'll tell you
contract.
how.
He's got a $64 million cap hit each of the next 3 years. How is he not in charge of the team?
Easy. Russell Wilson. We've seen a team do what you're suggesting the Browns could do. The Broncos did it. Different reasons. Obviously, nobody's going to compare Russell Wilson to Deshaun Watson, the who. But I'm saying that we have seen a team eat an enormous cap hit, draft a quarterback in the first round, and figure out a way around it. I'm not suggesting that the Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
They owe him over $120 million.
Yeah.
And I'm saying if he's not good, they'll move on.
They can't cut bait. Like they're not easily going to move off of him like the Denver Broncos moved off of Russell Wilson.
They could.
No, I mean the Denver Broncos ate $85 million in dead money, and they're paying Russell Wilson around $35 million, for the guaranteed portion of his contract. The Cleveland Browns are not going to pay Deshaun Watson after this season $90 million.
Also, if you did that, think about all the people in the organization that put their careers on the line for this pick. They mortgaged a lot to bring in Deshaun Watson, not only from a team perspective, from a morality perspective, from a financial perspective. And now you're looking at the Houston Texans, and it's starting to seem like the house that the Cleveland Browns built.
No doubt.
They are not going to want to cut ties with Deshaun Watson because just like you're saying, they're going to hold on to that hope that they were right and that they'll ultimately be validated in this decision. It's a huge obstacle for them.
But if it's going to happen, they got to be validated this year. Because when you start looking at some of the contracts that they got coming down the pike, some of the cap hits and how they're going to spike after 2024, it's clear that the Cleveland Browns window is now. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not going to be able to keep the band together much longer.
So just this year, you think the window's
It's
open?
just this year.
But I disagree with one thing in terms of jobs on the line. I don't think Andrew Berry, the general manager, acquired Deshaun Watson, and I don't think Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, did. I think that's all ownership.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to pay the price for ownership.
You're not going to fire yourself.
He's not going to fire himself.
Right,
so.
but if you fire Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, you look really bad.
It's the Cleveland Browns. They already got to look bad.
I get
it. And they brought in a guy who had 24 lawsuits against him, and they gave him over $200 million of guaranteed money. And what have they gotten in return for it?
Nothing yet. And by the way, you both have more legs to stand on than I do on this. I get it.
But how does just that move alone not put your job in question?
Whose job? The coach?
I would say Andrew Berry's job. He's
the general manager. Great job as a GM, in my opinion.
Of course. He has built a championship team, but you also made one critical move that has...
But he was told to make that move.
But they brought in Deshaun Watson so that they had no questions at the quarterback position. And since he stepped foot in Cleveland, it's been nothing but questions. They still are in virtually the same position. They have a great team and no quarterback that we have belief in.
I hear you. Their number on ESPN bet is very low at 8.5, I think. Their division is very difficult, obviously, with Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. Really difficult division.
They better figure out how to get this done now. I'm just sitting there looking at their future salary cap without getting too far into the weeds. Assuming the cap goes up another $20 million in 2025, the Cleveland Browns would be $90 million in the red when it comes to their salary cap.
Ooh.
So if they don't get it done this year, if Deshaun Watson doesn't prove to be the guy that they thought he was when they traded for him, then there's a good chance that the window that the Cleveland Browns have created with that really good defense, with that really good offensive line, and the skill position players they got on the squad will be slammed shut.
I just don't think Deshaun Watson has to be as good as you guys think he needs to be in order for them to win. I just think you need to be good. I don't even think you need to be great. I think if he has 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions this year, home run.
Here's the thing.
Would you sign up for that if you're the Browns?
If you told me Deshaun Watson played in all 17 regular season games, I would say that the Cleveland Browns are a playoff team and they can be dangerous. I just don't know that he's going to play in all the games.
Would you sign? Okay, fair.
That's my biggest thing.
Right now.
If he's out there, and here's the thing, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski said this a couple of weeks ago during training camp. They said if Deshaun Watson is out there, the rest will take care of itself. I truly believe that. If he's out there, the rest will take care of itself. I think he's good enough to be average to above average. Like, can he be a top 16 quarterback in the NFL? Absolutely. Can he be a top 12 quarterback in the NFL? Maybe. He's got that kind of talent. I don't easily dismiss the injury history when it comes to him, especially a guy coming off of shoulder surgery on his throwing arm and is also a guy that hasn't played a full season in how long? 3 years?
Mm-hmm. Does he have the suspension?
Why would I assume that he's going to be able to get through a full regular season? Has he even played a full 17-game regular season?
6 games in each of the last 2 years. Then
since they changed to a 17-game regular season, has he played a full season?
No.
Well, this is what, year 2 of this, 3, whatever it is, 3 of it. So in Houston, he played in 2018, 16 games, 2019, 15 games, 2020, 16 games. In those seasons, 26-9, 26-12, 33-7, touchdown interception ratio. That's pretty damn good. So this is the 4th year of 17-game regular season. Okay.
4th year.
If I said to you right now, if you were a Cleveland Browns fan or you were Andrew Berry, the general manager, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, I'm going to give you 15 games started for Watson. The other 2 missed by way of injury, not last game of the season, playoff positioning stuff. 15 games played, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Are you signing up for it right now?
If I'm the general manager and the head coach, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Because it could be worse. It could absolutely be worse.
You're hoping that your defense can carry you, right?
Yeah, it could absolutely be. If I get Deshaun Watson for 15 games, that's a win.
What if I gave you 14?
Crazy how the bar is so low for him now.
So low.
What if I gave you 14 games, 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions?
Nah.
So 15 is the number. In order for them to reach their ultimate goals, they need him starting and healthy for 15 games.
They need him starting and healthy for all the games.
Oh, I understand that.
Because they got the 8th toughest schedule in the NFL. Like, this is not going to be a cakewalk for the Cleveland Browns. Like, out the gates, you got the Dallas Cowboys and on the road against Jacksonville. Like, you could start out 0-2.
But they also may get the Cowboys at the right time. Because if CD's not playing, potentially, you may have actually caught a potentially really good team at the right time because their best offensive
Is it the right time when your tackles haven't played in training camp and you got Micah Parsons?
Well, partially the right time then.
Is it the right time?
Doesn't feel like the right time.
Hell no.
Partially the right time, I would say. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
ESPN Radio's NFL Two-A-Days. From off-season moves.
I know how special this place is. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
To this season's expectations.
I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl.
And everything in between. 2 teams. Every day. It continues tomorrow with the Cowboys and the Bills. Right here on ESPN Radio.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
ESPN 1530. Fall is the perfect excuse to update my wardrobe. So I went to Kohl's and fell in love with dressing up all over again. And all for less. With their friends and family sale, I saved 20% on polished pieces for me and my husband. Like dresses, button-downs, and shoes. Plus, I earn Kohl's Cash. Don't take my word for it. Get to Kohl's and discover fall faves for yourself. Select styles. Offers in August 25th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Eat like like a king who's on the budget.
Burger King's $5 Your Way meal is packed with flavor. Choose between 3 tasty options like the Whopper Jr., Chicken Jr., or Bacon Cheeseburger. Plus, enjoy fries, a drink, and nuggets on the side. Now that's delicious.
You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Price and participation vary. U.S. only. Features 4-piece nuggets, value, drink, and fries. Restrictions apply.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most. Attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
ESPN 1530.
Unsportsmanlike with Evan Canty and Michelle.
I didn't start my first year. I think it's just a tragedy that we're forcing these rookies to play early. But the reality is the only reason why they are is because we dumbed the game down, which has allowed them to play.
The GOATs never offer great perspective because they're so special.
Yeah, I guarantee the coach did not regret having Peyton Manning start his rookie year. And when Tom Brady talks about dumbing down the game for quarterbacks, I seem to remember the Patriots doing the same thing for him when he became the starting quarterback.
Brady with some interesting comments to Stephen A. Smith as part of the Stephen A. Smith Show about rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. We will get to that in a second. It is Bachelorette Day here. As Smalls, her NFL fandom bachelorette, has narrowed down her fandom. She was a St. Louis Rams fan growing up in the Lou. Team moved. She needs an NFL team. She is committed to picking one the first week of the season. She's narrowed it down to 6. Dolphins, Niners, Bears, Packers, Bengals, and Jets. And for those listening on the radio, thank you for that, first of all. Second of all, we have the helmets, the mini helmets displayed on our set here. And how it worked is before the show, a little inside info, Smalls arranged all 32 helmets, and then we knocked them off the set when you eliminated teams, and you also went out and bought roses. You gave those roses to Cece and I, then I gave them to Cece because the way we're positioned here, and he placed the roses in the different helmets. Now, why am I giving this level of detail? There was no specificity of, Cece, you must place this rose in this helmet, etc.
No, I just had them all lined up for Cece to grab at his leisure.
Ironically, there is one rose that looks different than the rest. Smalls, can you explain what is going on here on this set?
Well, these roses are in the helmet, so they're not in water, and they are blooming quite rapidly. They're opening up so nicely. Stunning flowers from the bodega. And as I'm looking down the line, the Dolphins rose has bloomed, the 49ers, the Bears, the Packers, the Bengals rose looks like perfection. Post that one on Instagram. And then we get to the Jets, and that's the only rose that hasn't opened up. And pure Jets fresh.
The irony of that, right? Oh my gosh.
Only the Jets. The Jets is the only rose. I will put it to the side for those on ESPN2. Hopefully they can see this.
She can't even love. They can't even be loved right. The Jets. It's just.
I did not notice this, but as I'm looking at it, it really is remarkable. They have not bloomed at all, and
every single other one has.
Every other one has, except for the New York Jets. Just remarkable.
I did not plan it that way.
They are true to themselves.
That's why I said what I said.
I did not plan it that way. My goodness. You know what? I'm actually looking at all of these teams, and I'm on board with 4 of the 6.
Okay, let's hear it.
Firmly entrenched with 4 of the 6. I mean, the Packers and the Bears, what a time. Like, it's going to be great in the NFC North having that. Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love. And, I mean, throw in Jared Goff and the fighting kneecap biters and Dan Campbell and the Lions. I love that. I love that. for Packers fans, for Bears fans. I think it's a great time to get in with both of those franchises. The San Francisco 49ers, the faithful to the Bay, all of that stuff, like the lore of the franchise, it's storied, it's tradition, it's all of the things. It's a safe place. It's a safe space for your fandom. Okay. On board with that. Joe Burrow, Cartier Shades, they ain't gonna see me. I how could you not, right? It's like it's a new day with the Who Day.
Yeah.
So I completely get that. Where I struggle, the New York Jets, self-explanatory, and then the Miami Dolphins. I did not take you as a Tuanon believer.
I wouldn't go that far.
I didn't think that you were on board with it. Well, I mean, if you're going to be a fan of the team, then you have to embrace the most important person in the franchise, which is the quarterback.
That's so true. And while I do have faith in Tua, I wouldn't say it's to the level of a Joe Burrow or a Jordan Love. I picked Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP. Mm-hmm. I believe that Caleb Williams is going to be every bit the franchise quarterback that we have projected him to be. And our boy Brock Purdy rocking all night long, was in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
So, yes, I would say out of the remaining 5 teams, Caleb Williams is obviously a little bit of TBD, that I probably have the least amount of faith in Tua to be able to get it done. The injury history, obviously, a problem.
Of all the quarterbacks that are with these teams, you have the least amount of faith in Tua.
Yes, which people probably think is crazy because of Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just saying,
because of Rodgers?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but wow, though. Caleb Williams, who we haven't seen play in a real NFL game, and then Aaron Rodgers, who's 40 years old, coming off of Achilles.
I mean, don't you think Dolphins fans would take all these quarterbacks over Tua? For Mike McDaniel?
I don't think the Tua fans would.
I mean, Brock Purdy has been better in the same system than Tua's been.
Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah. I'm with you and you. We're all aligned. Like, if we're power ranking all of the quarterbacks, Tua would be last on the list. I agree with you all. But I'm just saying, I don't think that Dolphins fans and Tua defenders would feel the same way.
Yeah, the Tua defenders, I don't think are all Dolphins fans, right? They're a very specific subset of Dolphins fans. But my question to you two is, if we are power ranking from the top down and not the bottom up, who are you putting as number 1? Because I have a feeling that it might come down to Jordan Love and Joe Burrow. And even though Joe Burrow obviously has done more in his career than Jordan Love, he's injury prone. And Jordan Love, it feels like the arrow is pointing all the way up on him in the Green Bay Packers. So if you had to right now pick a quarterback out of these 6, where are you guys going?
Oh, it's easy. It's Love, it's Burrow, it's Purdy, it's Caleb Williams. I would go Tua, Aaron Rodgers.
What about you?
I have a hard time with Burrow versus Love versus Purdy right now.
Burrow versus Love versus
You got to
Purdy.
do it, though. Just run through
It's just the exercise.
It's just the exercise.
I love Purdy.
I know you do.
So you got him number 1?
He was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, Purdy's number 1.
You would right now take Brock Purdy over Jordan Love or Joe Burrow?
Systematically with the team, yeah. I mean, like, I'm doing it on the Niners with that coach, with that roster.
Well, the roster might change because Brandon Ayuk might not be on the team.
It might change quickly.
As we sit here, I love Purdy. I love him. I think he's phenomenal. I reserve the right to change, by the way. I don't love him as much as this guy. Tom Brady spoke with Stephen A. Smith show this weekend at Fanatics Fest, and was asked and discussed rookie quarterbacks coming into the league like the aforementioned Caleb Williams.
There used to be college programs. Now there are college teams. You're no longer learning a program, you're learning a playbook. And the program is ultimately, like in Michigan, for me, that was a pro-style program. 5 years I got to learn how to drop back pass, to read defenses, to read coverages, to be coached. I had to learn from being 7th quarterback on the depth chart to moving up to 3rd to ultimately being a starter. I had to learn all those things in college. That was development. Then I went to New England and I was developed by Coach Belichick and the offensive staff there. I didn't start my first year. I think it's just a tragedy that we're forcing these rookies to play early. But the reality is the only reason why they are is because we dumbed the game down, which has allowed them to play. It used to be thought of at a higher level. We used to spend hours and hours in the offseason and training camp trying to be a little bit better than next year. But I think what happens is it discourages the coaches from going to deep levels because they realize the players don't have the opportunity to go to a deep level, so they're just going to teach them where they're at.
Tom Brady talking about rookies in the league, and I think Tom Brady, it's weird because simultaneously being passed up so many times at the quarterback position in that draft, picked 199, Brady's 6 people ahead of him. motivated him and really annoyed him, but it also allowed him to develop. If he was, it's weird. If he was the number one pick in the draft that year, he may not have had the time to develop like he did, not having any pressure coming in with Drew Bledsoe. I think he would have been amazing any way you cut it. He's amazing. He's the best player we've ever seen. Conceptually, I agree with him, guys. I don't think we should be rushing all these rookie quarterbacks to play. I don't want Drake May to play. I want Jacoby Brissett to play.
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher what he's saying. And listening to it a few times this morning, it's almost as if he's pointing the finger at the young quarterbacks in the league saying, you guys aren't committed to the craft the way that we were in yesteryear.
Is that true? Is that possible? I mean, you were around quarterbacks
there's always a way to improve on the science, right? So I'm not going to say that just because you had to do it to have success a certain way 20 years ago means you got to do it that same way now. I do believe that we can evolve. I do believe that there are more efficient ways of being able to get things done. And so I'm not going to say that one is definitively better than the other, but it sounds like that's what Tom Brady is doing. Basically, he's saying, yeah, these guys aren't going to put in that work, and these coaches are being forced to meet these players where they're at and playing them early because they're not necessarily doing what I did in order to develop properly, putting in the work, and having to work my way up to eventually being the guy. Mm-hmm. Like he did it in college, he did it in the pros. It doesn't sound like Tom Brady thinks that these young quarterbacks are as committed to going through the process that it would take to be able to have the sustained success that he enjoyed for over 20 years in the NFL.
And concurrently, their coaches aren't committed to the process to give them that time to bake because these coaches are worried about their coaching mortality, and they know that if they don't have a certain amount of success, that they're going to get fired. And if you can find a young quarterback in the draft that provides hope for your team, hope for your fan base, you want to get him out there sooner rather than later because if you don't, you know that you could likely lose your job. It extends your shelf life as a head coach.
And the irony is that the franchise that's going to be put in that position where they probably need the young quarterback to come in and play because they don't have a lot of pieces on that team. They need somebody to be a force multiplier. Is the team he used to play for in the New England Patriots. They desperately need Drake May because if you look at that offense in the preseason without him in the lineup, it is unwatchable.
You know, I think quarterback decision-making a lot of times is about job preservation now. One underrated thing about Brady's time in New England that I don't know that I've ever even verbalized or thought about until right this moment is he never played for a coach on the hot seat. He never played for a coach in New England that had to make decisions based on keeping a job.
Yep.
That is such a good point.
And the coach never had to worry about that because of how great the player was, too, right? They worked hand in hand. But Tom Brady was able to develop because he never played for a coach on the hot seat. And that matters. Can he or can't he? Brought to us by Grainger. Next on Sportsmanlike on ESPN Radio.
Down to kickoff.
This place is going to rock. Magic from Michigan. Touchdown.
We ain't got next. We got next.
Campus to campus, team to team.
Living the moment that every single kid dreams about.
The countdown rolls on right here on ESPN Radio.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Cincinnati's ESPN 1530. Traffic.
From the UCL Traffic Center with UC Health, the future of care is happening now through clinical trials and innovative treatments that give patients a chance for better outcomes. Visit UCHealth.com. Southbound 75 remains the heaviest of the highway traffic, close to a 10-minute delay out of Evendale to the lateral. Northbound 75, that's clear into town. On southbound 71, you'll need a couple of extra minutes between Montgomery Road and the Lateral. Chuck Ingram with traffic.
Head coach Zach Taylor has seen all he needs to from his starting squad. He told reporters after Tuesday's joint practice with the Colts that many of the guys at the top of the depth chart will not see action in tomorrow night's preseason finale.
Don't plan on them playing. I mean, there might be one or two guys that mix in there, but don't plan on those guys playing.
Much has been made this week about quarterback Joe Burrow wearing a glove at practice. As for why, Taylor says that's a question for Burrow, saying he has done it on and off for a couple of years now. But glove or no glove, Taylor likes what he saw out of the offense on Tuesday. New tight end Mike Gesicki making a few nice plays.
Picked up the offense very fast, understands the nuances and the chemistry of Joe. So I've been really pleased with what he's brought to the offense.
Defensive end Miles Murphy did leave practice early yesterday with a leg injury. There's been no update this morning, but the former first-round pick was riding in the front of the cart when he left practice as opposed to laying down in the back with his leg elevated. With the off-season report, I'm Ricky Ucchino.
Behind every successful business is a strong leader. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals leave HR to Paycor. Paycor's HR software helps build winning teams and great places to work. We're pumped to watch Bengals history unfold at Paycor Stadium. Find out how Paycor can help your business at Paycor.com.
Are you ready to go all in on the NFL's next big game? With On Location, you get it all. All the access, all the exclusives, all the VIP experiences you want, all season long. From 50-yard line seats at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans to VIP experiences at the NFL Draft, Pro Bowl games, and more. It's all yours when you're on location. Check out our complete VIP experiences lineup at NFLOnLocation.com or search NFL On Location. Go all in.
Behind every successful business is a strong leader. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals leave HR to Paycor. Paycor's HR software helps build winning teams and great places to work. We're pumped to watch Bengals history unfold at Paycor Stadium. Find out how Paycor can help your business at Paycor.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Check out this great deal on ground beef. Right now, Private Selection Angus 80% lean ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Green Day present the Saviors Tour. Live in Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, August 22nd. Performing both Dookie and American Idiot in their entirety, plus fan favorites and tracks from their new album, Saviors. With the Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Green Day, the Saviors Tour, fueled by Monster Energy.
This is Dave Lapper, and you're listening to the home of the Bengals, ESPN 1530.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text FLASH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SLASH to 321-321. That's slash to 321-321.
Kenny?
Or can't he? This is not hard-hitting analysis. It's not that.
Can he or can't he?
That is the question.
Can he or can't he? Brought to you by Grainger. With supplies and solutions for every industry, Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click, Grainger.com, or just stop by today. Can he or can't he? Can Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees, who leads right now in homers, ribbies, second in batting average, win the Triple Crown?
I want to say he can. I want to say he can, Ev. I want to say he can. I mean, listen, there's only been 2 Yankees to have ever win the Triple Crown. That would be Lou Gehrig and Mickey Mantle. So if Aaron Judge can pull that off, the captain, I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. You're talking about a guy now that has 3 seasons which he's hit 45 home runs or more, which is absolutely phenomenal. And so I want to say he can do it, but guy from the Royals, man, Bobby Witt Jr. is just incredible what he's been able to do. I mean, 15 points on the batting average with a month and a half of baseball left to go. That feels like that's a little bit of a tall order. Smalls?
That does feel like a tall order, but I want it to happen. I think that would be so awesome to see Aaron Judge get it done with the Triple Crown.
Quick question on this. Aren't we a little bit outdated when it comes to the stats we use with the Triple Crown when Major League Baseball as a whole does not emphasize average?
That's true.
We still look at it. If Aaron Judge wins a Triple Crown, I will come on here the same way I celebrated Miguel Cabrera when he did it, saying this is an unbelievable season. But if baseball doesn't think average is a big deal, well, then let's change it.
But I'm curious to see if baseball is changing that a little bit with how they've changed the game, right? The last few years, the innovations, making the bases bigger and, promoting more action, guys stealing.
Athleticism.
Like if putting the ball in play is now deemed as a more viable way of scoring runs, if that's the case, then batting average all of a sudden becomes important again.
It was always a viable way of scoring runs, but it's like in my opinion,
it was always about the extra bases. Like in the era of analytics, it became about the extra base hits.
Or just don't make additional outs by getting on base and double play and things like that. You're better off not getting on base. It was a whole can of worms, but I'm just saying Triple Crown is interesting when they may not value that as much. Next one, Smalls.
Next one, CC. Canty or Canty, can Russell Wilson finish the season as the Steelers' starting quarterback?
As the Steelers starting quarterback? No, he's not going to be the Steelers starting quarterback at the end of the year. I don't even know that he's going to be the Steelers starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, but I do think that eventually Justin Fields will be the starter for Pittsburgh, and that may prompt the Steelers to ship Russell Wilson to a team that's desert thirsty for a quarterback. So I could see Russ changing uniforms yet again in the middle of the season and going and finishing 2024 somewhere else as the starting quarterback.
So he can be a starting quarterback.
He can be a starting quarterback, just not the Steelers starting quarterback.
I think there are multiple starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now that by the end of the season could be traded somewhere else. Multiple.
Who are they?
Okay,
you can't leave us on the ledge like that.
I think that Gardner Minshew, if the Raiders stink, it's in their best interest to get rid of everyone. And Gardner Minshew obviously has proven he could be a stopgap quarterback in this league. Jacoby Brissett, Russell Wilson is one of them. And I will throw out, even though I agree with you, I think they're going to be better than we realize. I think Geno Smith also could be one of them. Guys that if other players get hurt, who could get there on a Tuesday and start on a Sunday kind of guys? All those guys I just mentioned have that kind of capability if their teams are not great this year. Can he or can't he, brought to you by a Granger, can Brock Purdy prove he's the franchise quarterback or a franchise quarterback without Brandon Ayuk?
He can. I'm on board, but I think Brock Purdy is a top 10 quarterback. I've changed my tune when it comes to him. I've gone from steady Brockett all night long to, maybe he's a little bit overrated given the supporting cast around him. I'm back on the Brock Purdy bandwagon. I think what he showed us in the playoffs last year and really that Green Bay Packers game where he played abysmal in the first half and found a way to bounce back in the second half and lead his team to victory. I think showing that type of sports character, that shows that you have the kind of mettle, the kind of staying power that it takes to be a true franchise quarterback. So even without Brandon Ayuk, I think the 49ers will find a way to supplement that talent at the receiver position, either bringing over another player in that trade or making a deal at the deadline if they need more in their receiving corps. But I believe in Brock Purdy. I think he is the Niners franchise quarterback for sure. This is not a Jimmy Garoppolo rewind.
But do you believe in the Dallas Cowboys? Canty or Canty, can the Dallas Cowboys get their stud wide receiver CeeDee Lamb under contract before week 1?
I'm going to say they can. There's some wiggle room in there. It's been rumored that the Cowboys have offered CeeDee Lamb just under $33 billion a year. The top of the market is Justin Jefferson at 35. I think between now and week 1, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones up that offer. They get closer to that 35. It might not be quite 35, but could it be $34 million, $34.5 million a year? I think it could be in that realm. Structure is obviously important too, but I think there's a little bit more room for the Cowboys to move closer to Lamb in this negotiation. I think they get it done.
Canty or Canty, brought to us by Granger. Can Tua and the Dolphins win the AFC East?
This is a closely contested division. Right now, the Bills are the betting favorite at plus 175. The Jets are at plus 185, and the Dolphins are at plus 200. That is crazy to have those teams so close right there. I'm going to say they can't. I just don't see Tua being able to do it. I mean, he's going into his 5th season, and he hasn't done it already. He hasn't won the division. when he had a golden opportunity last year to do it, a 3-game lead with 5 games to go, and you still lost the division lead. You got a situation now where I'm looking at the AFC East and asking myself, is Tua the third best quarterback in the division? That's a legitimate conversation. So I'm going to say he can't. My expectation is that the Dolphins will find a way to get into the playoffs. But I do think it's important for Tua and Mike McDaniel that they win this division, given all of the questions that the other AFC East teams that are contenders are having to deal with.
Let's have a real conversation about something that's not insulting but logical and practical. In light of Tua's comments with Dan Le Batard and Stugatz Meadowlark Media about his dislike towards Brian Flores and his love for Mike McDaniel, his opinion, totally fine, whatever. Let's play out something. Let's say the Miami Dolphins have a winning record this year. Not a bold statement. Let's say they go 9-8. All right, I think Dolphins fans think they're going to be better than that. Let's also say they don't make the playoffs as a result of going 9-8. What do? You can't get rid of the quarterback because of the fact you just gave him a massive contract, and he just told you he won't play for another coach.
Or that coach is the key to his success.
So you're not getting rid of the coach?
You're not getting rid of the coach.
And I wouldn't want to get rid of the coach. I'd want to change the quarterback and give the coach a new quarterback. So you're stuck. So really the question in Dolphins land right now is, why has Mike McDaniel actually not been extended? The moment you extended Tua and he made the comments to Brian Flores, you should extend Mike McDaniel to the length of the contract that Tua is extended for. Because Tua now can only play for this coach. I cannot be confident that another coach can come in and coach Tua unless that coach is Nick Saban. And I promise you Nick Saban won't be the coach of the Dolphins.
Conversely, I am confident that Mike McDaniels, if he has to have another quarterback, can figure out a way to be successful.
Yeah, so why have they not actually extended Mike McDaniel? If you're Mike McDaniel's agent, whomever that is, I'm going to guess Jimmy Sexton, I don't know. But if you're Mike McDaniel's agent, whoever that is, you should be on the phone with Stephen Ross and Chris Greer, the owner and general manager, today. You just signed the quarterback. Mm-hmm. The quarterback told you that's the guy he's going to play for. I would like him aligned with the quarterback now.
I just can't imagine living in a world where the Miami Dolphins don't make the playoffs this year.
I just told you they were going to have a winning record, though, and not make the playoffs.
If you just gave the quarterback $53 million a year, you just extended it when you didn't have to. You could have waited and let him play out his fifth-year option. You had the franchise tag after that. You didn't have to pay him. You did. You've given him that huge contract, and you don't make the playoffs?
You should not fire the coach, and you can't get rid of the quarterback. So what exactly?
That don't mean we can't talk about the quarterback, though.
I understand that. But what are you going to do?
Nothing, you're stuck.
What if you could go 10-7 in the AFC and not make the playoffs? That's not impossible. The Patriots are going to be... Patriots could be really bad.
You know where you're at? You're where the Philadelphia Eagles were when they extended Carson Wentz. You're where the New York Giants were when they extended Daniel Jones. You're where the Las Vegas Raiders were when they extended Derek Carr. You are where the Denver Broncos were when they extended Russell Wilson.
I disagree. Here's why. All of those teams could fire a coach. Many of them did. You can't fire Mike McDaniel. Well, you shouldn't fire Mike McDaniel, excuse me. But you can't.
No.
You can't fire him now. The quarterback runs the team. He will play for this guy. He may or may not be happy playing for someone else.
Boy, he got a lot of swing for a guy that ain't won the division and ain't won a playoff game, don't he? He got a lot of swing right now.
Tua?
Yes. He got a lot of swing.
All you have to do is be a good quarterback in the NFL, and you've got a lot of power.
If I said to 31 other teams right now, everybody but the Dolphins is going to become a expansion franchise. You could take Mike McDaniel to coach your team or Tua to quarterback your team. I think every one of them is going to take Mike McDaniel. Every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no question.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Dolphins should prioritize him over Tua, in my opinion.
But he's very publicly said Tua's his guy.
And Tua's very publicly said, that's my guy. So if they don't make the playoffs and or they don't win a playoff game, what are you going to do? There is literally nothing you can do. You are stuck.
Run it back.
Again? For the fifth or sixth time.
Run it back.
We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Greeny.
Let's live in a world where Michigan did all of the things that they are being accused of doing. For the life of me, I cannot believe that's against the rule.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Cincinnati's ESPN 1530. Traffic.
From the UCL Traffic Center with UC Health, the future of care is happening now through clinical trials and innovative treatments that give patients a chance for better outcomes. Visit uchealth.com. Southbound 75 remains the heaviest of the highway traffic, close to a 10-minute delay out of Evendale to the lateral. Northbound 75, that's clear into town. On southbound 71, you'll need a couple of extra minutes between Montgomery Road and the lateral. Chuck Ingram with traffic.
From the Clements Heating and Air Temp Star Weather Center, here's your forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Another morning that feels like fall here in the tri-state. Temperatures start in the low 50s and will warm to 77 today with a mostly sunny sky. Tonight, we're right back down to 53 under a clear sky, and it stays sunny for our Thursday forecast. The temperature warms a little bit, but there's still no humidity. Your high tomorrow ends up at 80. That's the forecast. I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Jennifer Ketchmark.
With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. In-store only, offer ends 8/24, limit 10. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product and don't know what to do next? Inventors. InventHelp can help you get started with your idea. Call 1-800-INVENTION or go to inventhelp.com to get your free inventor's information. They can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Get started with your idea today at inventhelp.com. InventHelp is the leading invention service company. With offices nationwide, they've been helping inventors since 1984. Inventors receive more than 10,000 patents through their patent referral services. Don't wait to get started with your idea. For free information, contact your friends at InventHelp. Go to inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. That's inventhelp.com or call 1-800-INVENTION. They help everyday inventors just like you. Additional services include invention websites, prototype models, technical drawings, and more. They keep your idea confidential and explain every step of their invention services. Remember, that's inventhelp.com. inventhelp.com.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Why is it raining inside?
It's not raining. Our upstairs neighbor tried to fix his own sink. It didn't go well. Now his broken pipes are flooding our apartment.
Oh, so we're just out of luck.
Nah, I got us renter's insurance from Smart Bunny. When we moved in, I downloaded the Smart Bunny app and got coverage in just 60 seconds.
It was that easy?
Seamless. I guess we're lucky to have it.
Seems more smart than lucky.
Well, I didn't want to toot my own horn.
Your horn is underwater anyway.
Get up to $100,000 of personal liability coverage and up to $40,000 of contents insurance with only a $250 deductible for as low as $15 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some renter's insurance.
Oh, look, the ceiling is collapsing.
We're covered.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
The car crashed right into me while I was waiting at the light.
The insurance company doesn't care.
Does anybody care?
At O'Connor, Achani & Levy, we do care. O'Connor, Achani & Levy, your trusted legal team.
ESPN 1530.
Came through yesterday. We took my New York Liberty over the Dallas Wings. We laid the 12.5 and they won by 20. So it's a no sweat play of the day. It worked out. Everything is all good. So the WNBA has been good to us, but we're going to switch it up and get back to the baseball diamond, and we're going to go with one of my favorite bets. The Chicago White Sox are playing the San Francisco Giants. Garrett Crochet on the mound for the White Sox versus Logan Webb. Good pitchers matchup, so I'm going to take the under on total runs scored. So it's 6.5 total runs. I'm going to take the under on that. That pays out at plus 110. So that is the play of the day. We're not fading the White Sox per se. Well, we are. We're just saying that there are not a lot of runs that are going to be scored.
We survived a terrible, terrible moment in our history.
The most unsportsmanlike moment of the day.
That was terrible.
Was not a great look.
All right, so this one is not as much unsportsmanlike as it is a unique, interesting story that could have some, residual effects.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear about Pete Carroll's new job? He's going to be a professor at USC. If I'm Lincoln Riley, I don't know that I want Pete Carroll as a professor at USC unless I know I'm ready to go to the Bears if Matt Eberflus doesn't work out.
So let me ask you a question. If you're Lincoln Riley, are you okay with your players taking Pete Carroll's class?
Ooh.
Boy.
What's he going to
teach? Whatever he wants. If you're USC and Lincoln Riley bounces for the NFL, which is not impossible, Don't hire a search firm. Walk down the hall, and the guy teaching like literature can now be your head coach.
Literature?
I don't know.
I mean, do you really want Pete Carroll poisoning the well with your players if you're Lincoln Riley?
I mean, he had
Hey,
success.
guys, I know you lost, but, the analytics say that you could have won this way.
Him chomping that gum.
Right? I'm just putting it out there, man.
I mean, would you take Pete Carroll back if you were USC?
I'd schedule a practice that conflicts with Pete Carroll's class times.
And I don't think Pete Carroll would do it.
You can't take his class.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't think he's scheming and scamming like this. I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
Wouldn't you want all the players taking his classes?
Would you want, like, to have extra football coaches?
Easy A, baby.
That's what I'm saying. You push that through.
No doubt. They're in cahoots.
Every player's in Pete Carroll's class. Nobody else.
Good call.
A's for everyone.
Good one.
Yeah,
Pat.
but I mean, I could fail all of the players, take the team GPA down, and then make that be a reflection of the head coach.
But why would he want that? He's 72 years old. Do you really think he wants to be the head coach
Oh, my God.
of college?
That would be bad. Oh, my God. But funny. Okay, next one. So the Oakland A's players, I think maybe just their pitchers, but I'm not sure, we're deciding their fantasy football draft. So it was yesterday, and obviously they were part of the fantasy marathon. They were loving it here on ESPN. And their pitchers went into the stands, and they put a circle, like in the middle of the outfield, and they were throwing the ball and closest to the circle for the draft picks. And they were like measuring it out with a tape measure. So this is the A's. There's no fans there, obviously. So this could have been during the game for all I know. I don't think it was. But they were doing this, and it was kind of a brilliant move, right?
Well, they're all the way up at like the top of the stadium too. They're up on Mount Davis. That's like the very top of the stadium. That's so high.
Do you like this as a way to determine
Oh, I think it's great.
draft order?
I mean, if you're the A's, you're 54 and 72. Have a little fun. It's a long season. It's been brutal for you. Why not have some fun?
Yeah, I like it. So there you go. Something positive about the Oakland A's. Next one.
And that's talking A's.
I
the
guarantee you
Mets.
they took that fantasy football draft exercise more seriously than the game that they had to play. Guaranteed.
The Mets have had a lot of conversation recently about who's throwing out their first pitch. I think they were considering A.J. Hawk and Tua. Both were in consideration a week ago. But this time, they went with Kevin James, who is a lifelong Mets fan.
Yeah.
The King of Queens.
King of Queens. I saw him in stand-up. I did not know if Kevin James was going to be good in stand-up. Phenomenal. My wife loved it.
Yeah.
Kevin James, very funny. I like Kevin James, but he's a diehard Mets fan. And he took the field prior to his first pitch and addressed the crowd.
God bless America! God bless our troops! God bless the New York Jets! And gentlemen, let's play ball!
Smalls, you look scared. Are you okay?
Well, he's screaming. I was just bracing myself. But you know what? This is exactly what Mets fans need. They need the King of Queens firing them up before the game.
He's their people.
He is
Worked
their
so
people.
well, though, yesterday.
He's their people.
Yeah, they lost. Okay, yeah, so did the Yankees. Anyway, best Kevin.
At least we lost to a good team.
Well, so did they. They lost to the Orioles. That's why I'm a little salty.
Best Kevin James movie, and you can't say King of Queens obviously is a show, but like Kevin James, if you could watch one Kevin James movie.
Oh, I need to pull up the...
He's great in Grown Ups.
Isn't he in
Grown
Hitch?
Ups. Great in Hitch.
He's great in Hitch.
Oh,
He's
Hitch was
hilarious.
awesome.
My wife and I watch it. That's one of those, if it's on, I'm watching it.
Yeah, good call.
Hitch is great.
Hitch is probably the pick. Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Yeah, it's Paul Blart Mall Cop.
I've never seen it.
You think it's Paul Blart?
Come on, that movie rules. That's awesome. That's an
What
awesome
about when
movie.
he played Sean Payton in Home Team?
Still haven't watched
That's
that
gonna
one.
hard pass.
Still haven't watched that one.
Did you see the one where he was the teacher and he fought MMA to like save the school?
I did
Here
see
comes
that.
the
Was
boom.
awesome.
That was good. I think I watched it with my
Here Comes the
son.
Boom
That was
good.
fun.
That was good. That was good. That's a good call.
It says he was in 50 First Dates. I don't remember.
Well,
the
he's in
character.
like all the Sandler movies together. I'm just looking through his IMDb here. Grown Ups, yes. Paul Blart, Mall Cop. Oh, Chuck and Larry. Have you seen Chuck and Larry? That was
Yeah,
good.
Very
now
good,
when I see
yeah.
Chuck and Larry,
Yeah.
Never saw
He
it.
was the president in the movie Pixels, which is the most unbelievable president in movie history.
Like the president of the United States or
Yes.
the president? Yeah, I don't see. It's odd casting.
I don't know if that's a
I gotta be
believable
honest.
one.
Yeah, it's odd casting.
Also, Pat, not a fan of King of Queens.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, didn't
So
you say
funny.
No, I don't. I never once said that. I love King of Queens.
that? You made it sound like you did.
I don't.
Javante said great show, and you're like,
That's not what I said. I don't know what you're talking about. I said I don't like his stand-up.
Okay.
Would Kevin James make a great chef, Evan?
Yeah. Stop it. By the way, there's another update to a previous unsportsmanlike moment of the day.
What is it?
I'm just seeing this. Jimmy Traina from Sports Illustrated just tweeted it out. This is important. Javante, I'm going to need you to cut the music on this one. This is an important update that you guys are going to be fascinated
I'm
by.
bracing myself.
Jimmy Traina just tweeted out, amazing plot twist. Kirk Cousins sent Kyle Brandt of the NFL Network a voice memo to say he did not make the Falcons' birthday playlist. A Falcons assistant made the playlist based off guessing what songs Cousins would like to hear. Kirk Cousins did not make his birthday practice playlist with 90s rock.
What a disappointment.
Immediate reaction, Michelle Smallman. Go ahead.
False advertising. How could you make me believe that it was Kirk Cousins that put yellow card on the aux when it was in fact somebody within the organization that is not Kirk James?
CC, immediate reaction on this breaking news.
It's a scandal of epic proportions. I think the NFL needs to step in. There needs to be some kind of discipline.
Wells report?
Absolutely. I mean, they were piping in crowd noise for opposing fans to try to get an advantage. I just don't like the fact that the Atlanta Falcons staff took liberties in this way.
So you're saying they're
Where's
not...
the line? Where's
I guess
the integrity?
the Falcons are not collaborative. We heard about all the collaboration with the organization.
No, it seems like they are collaborative.
No, they're doing things for other people. Not right. I'm just saying.
They're taking liberties. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Something needs to be done to stop this.
Wow. Maybe we'll get Shefty on this. He'll look into this. Greeny, coming up next. We are on to Thursday. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 1 pallet or more of select shingles. Plus, save 10% when you buy 68 or more select OSB sheathing. And if you find a lower price in-store or online, we'll match it. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
ESPN 1530.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated. But I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
I'm John Walzak, host of the new podcast Missing in Arizona.
And I'm Robert Fisher, one of the most wanted men in the world.
We cloned his voice using AI. In 2001,
police say I killed my family and rigged my house to explode.
Before escaping into the wilderness.
Police believe he is alive.
Join me.
I'm going down in the cave.
As I track down clues.
I'm going to call the police and have you removed.
Hunting.
One of the most dangerous fugitives in the world.
Robert Fisher.
Do you recognize my voice?
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Missing in Arizona.
Visit Hollywood Casino Lawrenceburg this summer for exciting live sports action. We've got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Indiana and Ohio. Plus, Pin Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Pin Cash every week. Visit pinplaysports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win. Not a member? Get the Pin Play app today. Hollywood Casino Lawrenceburg is your live sports headquarters. Bring your crew for all the action. Must be 21. Gambling problem in Indiana. Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT or text INGAMB to 53342.
Fall's coming. You have a lot to prepare for.
back to school, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve, so this fall make a plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
From the ESPN 1530 studio. Built by Madewell Restoration. Make sure your home's exterior is made well. Visit MadewellRestoration.com. ESPN 1530, WCKY Cincinnati. The official home of the Bengals.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. As talks continue between the Cowboys and holdout star receiver CeeDee Lamb, owner Jerry Jones told reporters they're having promising discussions regarding a contract extension. Believes the sides will come together. Added they wouldn't have made the offer they did to Lamb if they didn't want him to be there. The offer reportedly would have made Lamb the second highest paid receiver in the league. Pete Carroll not sure whether he will return to coaching, but for now he is going back to school. The former Seahawks and USC coach told Sports Radio 93.3 KJR-FM he'll start teaching class at SC this spring, but did not offer any other specifics. Baseball, Yankee starter Luis Gil left last night's loss with lower back tightness, will be reassessed again today. No imaging scheduled. Another pitcher taken out of the Orioles' depleted rotation, Zach Eflin, shoulder soreness on the injured list, the 5th Baltimore starter to hit the IL.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
Yes! So crazy right now. Most incredibly.
Okay, welcome to the show. It is Greeny here on ESPN Radio. The ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Along with Hembo, Evan Cohen in for Greeny today. Busy day. Good morning.
Good morning. A little disheveled here as we begin. I'm looking at you.
I'm disheveled?
Well, I mean, I have to scurry and plug your laptop in and do all sorts of odds and ends to ensure that, you're set up in